did you know that AutoPitch can do so much more than just pitch correct your vocals? I just love this feature so much. They're all great ways to warm up your voice, so you can take your vocals from this
wide, wide open, cold wind. Wide open, cold wind.
Pretty cool, right? Today I'm showing you how to record and produce dark pop vocals in BandLab using 5 powerful vocal tools. We're going to dive right in with tool number 1, which is VoiceTrainer. Before we start, we have to warm up our voices, and we're going to do that with BandLab's newest tool called VoiceTrainer. You can find it by tapping the plus button and heading to Tools. Now inside you'll see different exercise categories like warm up, breathing and conditioning. They're all great ways to warm up your voice, so just pick whichever one sounds good to you and let's warm up those vocal cords. Today I'm recording with a USB-C microphone, but you can absolutely use your earbuds with a built-in microphone for this as well. I've already prepped my project the way I like it, with my instrumental at the top and a vocal track underneath. The BPM and the key are set, and I've added my lyrics to the lyrics tab, so everything is ready to go. Before we start, I'm turning on the monitoring button so I can hear myself while I'm recording. That is the headphones icon in the bottom right corner. And now we're ready to record some vocals. While I'm recording my vocals, let's talk about comping. Now, nailing a perfect vocal take in one go is nearly impossible. And that is why I always record multiple takes of the same section and then build the perfect one afterwards. BandLab now makes this super easy with comping. All you do is create a cycle by clicking and dragging across the section in the time ruler. Then just hit record and loop it. Every take you record automatically gets saved in that same region. You can tap the takes icon to show or hide them, and your latest take sits at the top, but you can easily click through the others in the take lanes. You can even combine takes by dragging, cutting and selecting different parts of each take to build the perfect one.
You said it's nothing, just a friend, but you never...
All of our vocals are recorded, now let's prepare them for mixing. Which brings us to tool number 3, Voice Cleaner. Before we can start mixing, you want to make sure your vocals sound super clean, and to do that we're going to treat our vocal with Voice Cleaner first. Now Voice Cleaner removes background noise, reduces reverb and can even rebalance your vocals frequencies with auto EQ.
Blue light flickering at 2 a.m. Your phone face down but it lit again. Blue light flickering at 2 a.m. Your phone face down but it lit again.
If you don't have membership, you won't have access to Voice Cleaner, but a great alternative is Denoise, which is free for anyone to use on BandLab. Dark pop is known for its heavily produced vocals. Now, the vocal performance is often quite intimate and breathy, but the production is actually what makes these vocals sound so distinctive for the genre. The lead vocal often feels like it's inside your head, and it's very close mic'd with a lot of breathy detail, and we want to emphasize that with our production. Now we can produce a radio-ready dark pop track without tuning our vocals, so let's apply some auto pitch.
You said it's nothing, just a friend, but you never turned it off. Overthinking everything, but the truth came down knocking. Open the door and stop telling me lies.
By the way, did you know that AutoPitch can do so much more than just pitch correct your vocals? It can also completely transform your vocals vibe and add unique textures. And later in this video, I'm using it to create a vocoder effect.
Wide open, no warning, no closure.
So definitely stick around for that.
Blue light flickering at 2 a.m. Your phone face down but it lit again. You said it's nothing, just a friend, but you never turned it off. Blue light flickering at 2 a.m. Your phone face down but it lit again.
If you'd like to understand vocal EQ in more depth, I'd recommend watching this video where I break down everything you need to know about properly EQing a vocal. Instead of using one aggressive compressor, we're going to be using two, which is called serial compression. This creates controlled dynamics and intimate presence in your vocal without them sounding too squashed. I'm first applying the TechLab BA2A and then the punchy effect from BandLab's One Knobs collection. I am actually a big fan of these one knobs because they're just so easy to use. So for our lead vocal, I want to dial in some quick saturation with Toasty to add density to our vocal, and I'm also adding brighter to give my vocal that airy shimmer. Next, I'm adding the de-esser to control the sibilance of our S's and T's, because although we are boosting some of the highs with the brighter one knob for that glossy effect, we don't want our S's and T's to become annoying in our mix. Now let's add some space. First, I'm adding the D delay to add an 8th note tempo sync delay.
Your phone face down, but it lit again. You said it's nothing, just a friend, but you never turned it off.
And I'm using Spacemaker to add a long plate reverb with a long decay, cut off some of the higher frequencies and keep it really low in the mix, so it almost feels like a shadow of space behind the vocal for that typical dark pop feel. And now I'm going to pick the moments in my song where I want the reverb and delay to be more present, and I'm going to do that by automating them. So this is what it sounds like now. A dark pop vocal arrangement isn't complete without backing vocals and harmonies, so let me unmute those and show you how I mix them. First, I applied my lead vocal chain as a preset. I removed the 8th note tempo sync delay, reduced a bit of the highs on the visual EQ, and applied these settings to all of the backing vocals. And that brings us to the 5th vocal tool I want to share today, one that's quickly become a staple in my workflow, and of course I'm talking about VoiceChanger. I just love adding different vocal textures in my backing vocal arrangements, and one way I like to do that is by transforming my voice into other voices with VoiceChanger. I just love this feature so much, it just makes your stack sound so much fuller and more interesting. So what you do is you tap on the region you want to transform, tap VoiceChanger, and then you can preview what each voice sounds like before you process it.
Wide, wide open, wide, wide open, wide, wide open.
And then you process the one you like the most. I do this for multiple tracks, so let's skip forward to a before and after of using VoiceChanger.
Wide, wide open, cold wind blowing. Thought my heart was safe, but you left yours alive.
Now lastly, I have a little bonus trick to share with you. We're going to fake a vocoder using AutoPitch. First, you gotta make sure to record a vocal stack with some really interesting harmonies. Mine sounds like this.
Wide open, no warning, no closure. Wide open, no warning, no closure.
Next, I've added different AutoPitch modes on different tracks. So Robot on 2 tracks, Epalex on 2, Simulacrum on 2. All of these at 100% with low latency turned on. Here's the stack before.
Wide open, no warning, no closure.
And here's the after.
Wide open, no warning, no closure. Wide open, no warning, no closure.
Pretty cool, right? Alright, last step, we're going to put the finishing touch on our track, and that is mastering. Head over to the track view and scroll all the way down until you see mastering. Tap on that and you'll see a bunch of mastering presets you can choose from. We're just going to tap through them and listen to what each one does to our track. I actually really like this one. Now you can adjust the intensity to taste, so just play around with it until it feels right to you. And we're done.
Blue light flickering at 2 a.m. Your phone face down, but it lit again. You said it's nothing, just a friend, but you never turned it off. Overthinking everything, but the truth came down knocking. Open the door and stop telling me lies. Wide open, cold wind blowing. Thought my heart was safe, but you left yours unlocked. Eyes wide open, cold wind blowing. Thought my heart was safe, but you left yours unlocked. Wide open, no warning, no closure. Wide open, no warning, no closure.
And that's it. I hope this video gave you some new inspiration. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments down below. My name is Helene Vera, here with BandLab. I'll see you in the next one and keep creating music.